Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training.
How we doing, Rob?
It seemed like that opening, you forgot me for a second.
I was going to move right on past you, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Right away. I think the listeners, I think they picked that up too. That was just right there.
Well,
right there.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, you are important to me. Matter of fact, Rob, you have got to change your voicemail on your phone. Has anyone ever told you that?
No.
Every time I get your voicemail, you go, hey. And I go, hey, Rob, what's happening? You go, it goes into your message. I always think
I do that on purpose.
Well, yeah, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
I think that, I got you and you're going to go, yeah, what's up? But, and he always goes right. I go, damn, why don't you change that?
Every time. Yeah, that's my thing. And I always say at the end, have a nice day.
Yes, I know. But it's the awkward pause.
And anybody from the Northeast knows exactly what I mean by, have a nice day. Speaking
of which, okay, now we got to make a rule, you and I, because you've said that before. Everybody knows what I mean by have a nice day. And I've repeated myself before on the show.
Okay.
But what I'm concerned about is, the two of us always repeating ourselves like old guys. And I know I do, and I know you do. So we're gonna have to make a rule to stop each other. Okay.
That's the new rule.
Yeah. If I start to repeat a story, you got to go, hey, you already said that.
Are you sure? You sure you want to go that way?
Well, but with a caveat. Like if it was like 25 shows ago or 50 shows ago, and then we just touch on it, that's fine. But yeah.
So there's a time frame.
Yeah.
So 25 shows.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 25 weeks.
Yeah.
6 months. So it's a 6 month thing.
There you go.
If it hasn't been brought up in 6 months, it's not a repeat.
You can touch on it. Yeah.
Okay, but we're not going to devote a whole show to it.
No. Speaking of awkward silences.
Speaking of peacocks.
Yes, and awkward silences. Do you know that in Japan, that an 8.2 second pause when you're talking with someone is acceptable? Now you think about that. Like I noticed that when I'm on the show talking to you, and this is a fault of mine, by the way, so don't think I'm going to be critical of you. I'm starting to be more aware of your feelings. But whenever there's a silence, I feel like I have to, not just on the show, but when I'm talking to people, when I'm around people, let's say at a dinner party or whatever, and it's quiet for a minute. If there's a silence there for a while, I feel like I have to keep talking. You know what I mean?
Oh, we know. Yeah, we all.
Yeah. That's why I interrupt you or when you're talking sometimes. And I was reading that in Japan, like it's like up to 8.2 seconds is considered an acceptable amount of time to be quiet in a conversation. And it's a notion that a silent man is the better one to listen to. Hence the long pauses in conversation. So think about 8.2 seconds. I almost want to start it. That's like an eternity for me.
8 seconds is a long pause.
Yeah.
8 seconds. That maybe in Japan. I'm thinking the United States, we're more 3 seconds.
I think it's more like 4 seconds, but where's my timer at? I'm gonna time 8 seconds. I'm gonna ask you a question and I'm gonna wait 8 seconds and see if I can even do it.
I can't wait to hear this question. This is gonna be awesome.
Oh, you asked me a question. I'm gonna wait 8.2 seconds.
Okay. How was your Easter?
4, 5. It was good.
Oof. That's way too long.
That's
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
All right. So anyhow,
no, you can't go.
Your phone, your message on your machine is about 5 seconds. So you dial that in.
What do you mean? The 5 second pause?
Yes. That's what makes me think you're actually on the phone. You're getting ready to say something. All right. I got to tell you.
Pauline thinks that is just so unprofessional. It drives her
Well, I do too.
Insane.
Yeah.
It drives her crazy. She has been begging me to take that off
All right.
because I used to say hello, and then people would start talking, and
Yeah. Please leave a message after the tone.
yeah.
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 You can switch that. All
Yeah,
right.
there
Rob.
was one time that I left one on the house phone because I don't know, I saw it in a movie. I think I saw it in a movie or something, and I did that. I said, hello. And then I said, hey, speak up. I can't hear you. And I said it again. I think it was a Tom Hanks movie now that I'm thinking about it. And I said that like 2 or 3 times. Speak up. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
And then I led with, no, there's nobody home. Why are you screaming? You know, leave a message after the tone. And I just thought that that was the greatest thing of all time. And I'm pretty sure Pauline was ready to pack my bags and send me out, ship me out.
Yeah. All right. This episode is what I learned at the NWFA last week. And one thing I learned, I'll start right off the bat, is holy smokes, Rob, that I had so many people ask me about you. And, where's Rob at? Blah, 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 and ask about the show, which is very, very nice. I told them that you don't like to associate with people a lot if you don't have to. So
I just like doing the show from a very small room.
Yeah.
Keep to myself. Keep
like
quiet. I'm a shy guy.
Yeah.
No,
but it was
don't
very
like the
nice.
big crowds.
Yes. Yes, it was very nice. Very nice that when people ask about the show. It's always overwhelming to both of us. Thank you for that. And Rob, I can't tell you how many people asked about you. I was getting sick of it. Like literally, I'm right here. You know what I mean? But I want to say, Rob, as much as you talked about your son Bum, I met Bum, and all kidding aside, I just can't tell you what an honor and a privilege it was for him, and to finally get a chance to meet me.
He mentioned that.
Yeah,
he did mention that. Yeah.
In all seriousness, God, he reminds me so much of you. It's crazy. When I'm talking to him, I see a younger you.
And, a very young me. Yeah.
Very young you, and great guy, man. I really enjoyed talking to him. We joked around a little bit and everything. I got a chance to see him over on his thing working, and it was cool, man. His booth was close to ours, and I get a chance to look over once in a while, and he was always busy and everything. And I just wondered how much of that stuff he's saying that he got from me. But
oh yeah,
I'm sure some of it.
Well, especially now that he's listening to the show, right?
Well, I'll have to edit this part out. No, I really did enjoy meeting him. It was the first time I got a chance to meet him. I felt like I knew him because you talk about him so much, and I saw him in the different things.
It was funny. That was his first time. That was his first convention. I did say to him, I go, try not to drink too much. This is your first convention. I go, don't worry, go out, have fun and everything, but try not to drink too much because you don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
We all remember our first convention, and so I gave him a little pep talk on, how to go about on his first convention, and always keeping in the back of your mind that, hey, you are there to work too.
Yeah.
But
in the back of your mind.
In the back of your mind. Yeah. We have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny you said about meeting him and everything, because him and I were talking yesterday, and he was like in a whirlwind of all the people that he's met, through the years of listening to me talk about people. And actually, he's met a few people that haven't really seen him since he was a little kid,
Wow.
One of the guys that he ran into was Todd McDonald.
Yeah.
Toddy Mac and I, when, we were with that other company, not to be mentioned, but we had done the Basketball Hall of Fame, we did the floors in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And he said, hey, bring bring your son. That'll be, a really cool job for him to see. So one of Bum's buddies was, playing on the high school team, freshman team. So we brought him. We thought, hey, he's a basketball player. We'll bring him to the Basketball Hall of Fame, and he can say that he did the floors and everything. So, Toddy Mack met Bum, 20 something years ago, and actually, worked a couple of nights with him,
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. And especially listen to, everybody that he met, all the people at Bona and you and everybody else. So he was in a whirlwind. He was in a whirlwind.
Good for him. He represented himself well. So
that's good.
You guys did all right. Speaking of that, I don't know if you know what the Paris syndrome is, and not that this is applicable by no means. Okay, but have you ever heard of that expression, Paris syndrome?
Never.
Well, you heard never. It's never good to meet your heroes. You ever heard that expression?
Yes.
Again, not that this is applicable, but the Paris syndrome is this. I mean, when you think of Paris, I mean, every movie it's ever been in, every tourist thinks to himself that, there's love in every corner, that it's magical, and there's a perpetual accordion music playing. And so they finally go to Paris, and it just turns out to be another city. You know what I mean? There's some nice players there, but it's got crime. It's got, like any city, it has that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing for me it was with peacocks, those birds. If you ever see a peacock, I mean, you always think, what do you think? They're beautiful, right?
Yeah.
They're beautiful, the feathers, and they're just, really neat. But you ever seen one up close and in close quarters and be around them for any length of time? I mean, they're
Have
dirty.
I ever been around a peacock for an?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's
No.
not a.
Have you?
Yes, out in Kentucky, this one farm, they had peacocks, and let me tell you something. They're dirty. They're messy. They got ugly feet, funky looking feet like lizard claws, and they're noisy. And so sometimes it's not good to meet your heroes.
So who did you meet that Parised you?
Well, there's one I can't say. Probably know, but I can't talk about. But have you ever met anybody like that? You ever met your heroes that was disappointed in you?
No, I have not. And I'm the only guy I can think of that I met, and I've even told the story. It was Bobby Orr, and he was like 10 times better than I thought he was going to be.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so I went to the top of the Eiffel Tower with Bobby Orr. It was beautiful, right? I mean,
I think as you're younger, like that would have got me when I was younger. Like I could have been disappointed in a hero, but not as an adult, because people are flawed, right? I mean that would never surprise me. I would expect that they would be, in fact,
even
people
that win Floor of the Year.
Oh yeah, especially the people that won Floor of the Year. So, hey,
cue the music. Floor of the Year.
By the way, speaking of which, congrats to all the Floor of the Year winners. I did learn that walking around. I gotta see all the entries. Of course, I saw them before, but always cool to see the winners, man. You're always so happy for the guys. We know what goes into it. So, hats off to everybody that won Floor of the Year. Just some phenomenal floors. I love it. So,
did they do your division?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. Amongst the many people that I met, Rob, I met Jacob Durham and Megan Sherman from.
Is that who Parised you?
No.
Okay.
They're from Durham Hardwood Floors down there in Central Florida, and they emailed us before. They listened to the show, and really cool seeing them. And I don't know how many conventions they went to. They're young couple. I don't know if they're a couple or not. They're young people that in this company that that might be a mistake to do that.
Wow.
Sorry.
You can't say anything anymore, huh?
A young couple of kids. How about that?
You know what? I'm pretty sure though that most of our listeners would be pretty cool with us making some mistakes along the way when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, but I can't call them a couple if they're not a couple. What if their spouse has said, okay, yeah, go ahead and go see, have a good time at the convention. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize, whatever the situation is, I don't care. It was really nice to meet you guys and pretty cool. I also got a chance to meet Carla Lorena with Angus Hardwood Flooring out of Angus, Canada. And they actually drove all the way from Canada to Florida for the NWFA convention. That must be some kind of, they should get some kind of award for that. I love a road trip. So I'm sure it was a combined that with flooring and family adventure. So they do some really cool TikTok videos, and it really was a pleasure to get a chance to meet Carla and them. And so thanks for giving the opportunity to come by and say hi. All right. You know what? I'll tell you something else I learned at the convention, Rob. This is I started looking around the room. I think our industry there's going to be a vacuum in the next 5 years of talent. You look around the room and you start seeing guys that are getting towards the tail end of their careers. I mean, and I'm not going to name any names because some guys might go, screw you, I'm going to be around another 15 years.
I'm looking at two people right now.
Exactly right. So, but I think there's going to be, there's a lot of guys in our industry that are getting up there and I'm talking about flat out, very influential, great craftsmen, great sales reps, great people that are going to be leaving the industry in 5 years. And so as I was kind of, looking at the room and thinking about this, I thought, well, I wonder who's going to step up. Who's going to fill their shoes, as George Jones would say, the greatest country singer of all time, second greatest singer in the history of America.
Well,
right?
My spot's covered. I'm covered. I did my job. My spot's covered.
Yeah, you brought your son in.
He's
in.
Okay.
In the industry. Yeah,
everybody loves him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like him better than me.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to do something, right? The next generation.
You're like Kim Jong-il or whatever.
I did my job.
You're right.
Right.
Yep.
Now
the legacy lives on.
Exactly.
Yes. So
and he's got a little boy, so
yeah.
Johnson's, we did our thing.
Having said that, people are staying in the workforce longer than ever before. I mean, I think in Europe, 50% of the people from 55 to 64 years old are still in the workforce. And in America, people are working much longer before they retire. But having said that, you can look around the room, you can see that there's going to be a lot of people leaving the industry in the next 5 years. So if I was in that next age group coming up, there's going to be some opportunities out there. And I'll tell you something else, Rob, since you asked.
Please do. Since
I think
you're a mind reader.
I am. I would love to see, and I think it would be good to see NWFA regional instructor, a female instructor. I think there's enough talent out there, and you know what? I think that would be good for the industry. What's the matter?
I don't know. I hate the way you say that.
Well, tell me why.
All right, I'm probably going to get in all sorts of trouble for this, but do you want to be the first female instructor just because you're a female?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like everybody's going to look at her and go, "Oh, look at this! She's the first female instructor." Where, hey, look at that! A new instructor. I don't want to be checking off boxes.
No, I'm not a check off boxes type of guy either.
Okay. But all right. As long as you.
No. I'm
glad you said that.
Right. Yeah. In fact, don't do that to the person who would get the job.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yes.
Well,
that's what I mean.
You just did it.
No, I didn't. I want to bring him in as an instructor because we never say, oh, look at it. Wayne Highlander, he's a male instructor for the NWFA.
Yes. But there has to be a first.
Instructors.
There has to be a first. So you can't say, well, I don't know what we don't want to say because she's a female. You know what I mean? I think we probably
they've had instructors too. I think you're I think you're on the hot seat for this one, not me.
Oh, yeah, you're out of your mind. You are.
No,
I
no,
said,
no, no. I see no boundaries. Okay.
you idiot. What the hell's the matter with you? I see no boundaries. Listen, I said,
You
okay,
just want to
first,
check another box. Oh,
I
look at
don't,
that. We
I mean,
gotta,
this,
yeah.
how,
Oh, look at it. There's our first vegan instructor. Oh boy, check the box.
okay, you half-wit, listen to me. Let me, hear me out.
Wow.
Okay,
We got
okay.
name calling going on now.
Is there a female NWFA regional instructor right now? Or has there ever been?
I have seen female instructors at NWFA classes back when we were going 15 years ago.
That is pure name. What? No way. There has never been an NWFA instructor. I'm not talking about.
Wait, I'm going to think of her name. Give me a minute. She worked for Linmar, Irish girl.
No.
Yes, yes, yes. She was a panel instructor. She was an instructor. She was introduced as an instructor.
Okay. No. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm not talking about a manufacturer representative that's at the school. I'm talking about an instructor like a Lenny Hall, Jason Elquist, or what have you. You know what I mean? Or Michael Dittmer.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah,
I just felt
yeah.
like screwing around.
Oh my God. How can I have an argument with you, man?
It's tough.
Anyhow,
you know what? Call and talk to my message. You can argue with that guy all day long.
But
now we got, what's her name? I can't believe I can't think of her name. I mean, I used to see her all the time. You know the girl I'm talking about?
well, how would I know the girl you're talking about?
Well, I thought you might have known her.
Well, there's a lot of women at the NWFA, but you have to give me better than that as a clue.
She was like, vice president of sales or something for Linmar.
I know who the Linmar lady is. I can't remember her name too. I can see her face in my mind's eye.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Yeah,
my God, can't remember. I
she's
apologize to her.
She's a phenomenal rep and a phenomenal salesperson, what have you. But I think she would even say, I'm not an NWFA certified instructor. What do you can't argue that. Anyhow, I think it's time. I think it'd be great to see someone in that role. I actually think I'd be a great
female instructor. Yeah,
instructor.
I think you would too.
Yes. You ever wear cologne?
No.
I don't like wearing cologne.
No, I haven't worn. Look, once I couldn't get high karate anymore, I stopped wearing cologne.
That's where it ended for me too.
Do you? Yeah, you're
no,
not. Do you wear cologne?
I don't even like guys that wear cologne. What are you doing here with a cologne? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? He does not speak for the show, everybody. Okay. If you're wearing some cologne, more power to you. Okay.
I guess if you're, I don't know, man. I don't know what circumstances I would wear cologne. I'm sure a lot.
Where did that come from? All of a sudden, you hate people who wear cologne.
Well, I'm a female instructor and a buffet instructor, and I just thought about perfume, and it made me think about cologne. All right.
Pauline did teach me something though about people that wear cologne.
Yeah.
Always use the same amount.
Here's the deal. Okay, go ahead.
You always have to wear, if it's one pump or one splash, that's it. Because if you're wearing the same cologne all the time, all of a sudden you get nose dead to it.
Yes.
And then it's 2 pumps. And then it's 3 pumps.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, you're on the plane with everybody and everybody smells like that. So remember,
that might have been the
shot.
That might have been the best advice in the history of this show.
I think our colonoscopy show was the best advice. We saved lives.
Listen,
but the perfume thing.
Oh, it's awful. Have you ever been in a gym where the lady's wearing perfume and you're on a treadmill next to her? I guess the answer to that is no. I'm sorry. Hey, it was there. I'm
used to
sorry.
go. I know. I used to go to
Okay,
the gym,
okay, but
but
it's awful. You can't
no,
breathe.
no.
Or 10 times worse is a dude with too much cologne. Ah, man, come on. What are you doing? So anyhow,
One squirt
that's a
or
great,
one splash,
that's,
and that's it forever. Even if you can't smell it anymore.
yes, fantastic advice.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. So what else did I learn in the NWFA?
So
First of all,
here's let's do a breakdown of what you learned at the NWFA. Everybody's getting old. You don't like perfume people. You don't want a woman instructor.
I do. I said you need to have a woman instructor.
Did you attend anything? Did you do
Yes.
anything constructive?
Yes. And that's where I'm getting to my next point. First of all, congrats to the NWFA. I should have led off with this. They knocked it out of the park. It was fantastic.
That
They
is
did it.
that is so great to hear.
Yes.
I couldn't have been happier because I talked to you and I talked to my son, and both of you is like, wow, it was fantastic. And I think the industry needed that. So I'm
It
pumped.
did. And I love the NWFA that they bring the industry together. I mean, this is where I say it all the time. This is our our ball, right? This is our convention that everybody comes together and you can get together and you can learn from each other. You can have fun with each other. You can find out what's new. You can get together with your reps or what have you. And holy smokes, the NWFA, God bless them. They did a fantastic job. They just knocked it out of the park. And the seminars, the side seminars that I was able to attend, three or four of them, three of them, and very, very good stuff, man. It was excellent. So, yeah, so I hats off to them. And by the way, the next one is in Milwaukee. Now, someone might say, well, gosh, you're going from Tampa Bay or Tampa, Florida, which is sexy and it's beautiful weather and holy smokes, it's hard to beat. Milwaukee will be just as fun because look, it's like being with your best friend. Do you care where you're at with them? You know what I mean? If you haven't seen each other in a long time, you don't care. It'll be a lot of fun there. I know there's already talking about some cool things they're setting up. So, but all in all, hats off to the guys. I mean, and the gals at the NWFA, they just flat out knocked it out of the park. And I'm always amazed at how organized it is. Trying to organize a birthday party is tough. You know what I mean? Try to get people together that don't travel a lot and have an app on the phone where everything's dialed in and everything went off without a hitch. And from Michael Martin to Brett Miller and all the gals there that put so much time and effort into this, they just crushed it. So,
oh, that's great. That's good news.
yeah.
Listen, be careful about Milwaukee.
Why?
Yeah, I've been, I do a lot of traveling. I've been traveling for years and years. And, some of my buddies are like, so, you travel everywhere. What are some of your favorite towns? Milwaukee has got to be in my top 3 towns.
No kidding.
Yes. Milwaukee is awesome. People don't, and I know it sounds even crazy. Like, oh yeah, Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a blast. The people are great. The city's awesome. The best part about Milwaukee is you can maneuver, you can drive around, you can park. I mean, it's very comfortable, but it's a great city. I hope I get to go to that one. You got to really push for me to get to that one because Milwaukee is an amazing town.
You didn't come to the convention in Tampa, and I know I said I would get you there. And the more I thought about it, you would take attention away from me, and I'm sure that might have went into my decision.
Yes.
But you and I got to get together at the convention next year in Milwaukee. We have to do that. You have to.
It would be fun to do some shows. Yeah. I think.
Work your training around it if you can this time, Rob, and don't work yourself to death. And you're always so busy. Make time for it next year. I know you're a company guy, and if there's training to be done, you're going to take that every time. But hopefully, you can work it into your schedule next year.
It was a depressing lunch. I was working with Jeff Sheaves. It was kind of a depressing lunch. We had a training going, great training, awesome guys. Another great one. But during lunch, we were just flipping through all the pictures you guys are putting out. And the picture of you and Aaron And my son cracked us up. I was like, it looks like he's with his boys.
Yeah.
They all look related. You look like you were with your sons on that picture.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was that was like, oh yeah, that would have been fun to be there.
Mhm.
But Milwaukee,
Well, here's the
the
thing.
best laid back. I'm gonna tell you a quick story in Milwaukee.
Okay.
I had to go look at the Bucks floor. There was an issue with the Bucks floor, not a big issue, just a, nothing big. So they asked me to go take a look at it. So no problem. So I drive over to the arena because that was my territory. They were my customer. I drive over to the arena. Now think about what I'm about to say. Okay. Think about all the arenas you've been to and security and all this stuff.
Performed
So I pull up to the back gate and I was thinking maybe I'll just park here. But I see a kid working the gate for the players parking, right?
Mhm.
So I pull up and like a jerk, I just said, yeah, I'm here to take a look at the floor. And he goes, yeah, okay, good. Just park right over there, like right next to the building. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks bus is unloading the players. The players are getting off of the bus. The Atlanta Hawks. I think that they're the Hawks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Atlanta Hawks. They're getting off the bus. I'm walking in the building as they're walking in. I thought, all right, I'm not going to walk in with the team. I'll just look like a jackass, So I went, yeah. He's an awfully old ball boy, isn't
You
he?
should have brought a basketball, start dribbling as you walk in with him.
So I let them get in. Now the door shuts. Now there's a guy behind the glass booth, with the whole thing.
Mhm.
He goes, can I help you? I go, yeah, I'm here to take a look at the floor. Okay, no problem. Buzzes me in. Nobody asks me
Mhm.
anything. They didn't ask me my name. They didn't ask me my company. They asked me nothing. Nobody even knew I was coming. It wasn't like they said, hey, there's going to be a guy coming to look at the floor. I kind of show up unannounced. If Bill Price is listening to this, he's going to cut my head off when he finds out that I went there unannounced. Literally unannounced, walked in and walked out onto the floor. Nobody stopped me. Nobody did anything. And I'm just saying, this Milwaukee has got to be the greatest town of all time. These are the most sweetest, trusting people ever. Probably security's been beefed up since then, because I finally did say to the manager, I go, hey, can you get the guy who's in charge of the floor, tell him, the Bona rep is here.
Well, I want to apologize to the security team that's probably just got let go from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now they have to beef up security for the people that are going to be trying to do the same thing.
We were doing the Celtics floor, and it just couldn't have been more totally opposite. It was like, give me your license, sit here, don't move. When I say don't move, don't move. We had armed security, with us the whole time, right? The Bucks are like, come on in. Yeah. Oh, hey, he's here for the floor.
I want to apologize to our Celtic partners as well that we come off making you look like disciplinarians like that. I'm sure you're great folks. We really appreciate your business.
And I think Bona has a deal with the Celtics too.
Had a deal.
We had a deal. No, they're very strong security. That's good.
Yeah. All right.
That's what you need.
Again, I want to thank everybody that we got a chance to meet at the convention, and they came by.
You're not going to tell us about any of the seminars you went to?
Yeah, I can tell you about the seminars. I attended one on moisture meters. I want to say something too about moisture meters. So a panel gets up there to discuss moisture meters, and I think there was 4 manufacturers that were being represented. Every one of them, fantastic job. Every one of them very professional, and I felt sorry for every one of them, because if there was ever a job in this industry that has got to be tough, it's way tougher than it should be. It's selling moisture meters. I mean, if you're selling moisture meters, every person in this industry should have one in their van, minimum of one. That, and you also know that you count how many people are in the industry and how your big of the market share is. And you can look at the other panelists and you realize maybe 1 out of how many guys have a moisture meter in the van. I've always said this. If you starting with a van, you're going to build a van. You're going to build a perfect van for doing floors. You start with a brand new Sprinter, let's say. It's bone dry. There's nothing in there. The first thing, if you want to be in the hardwood floor business, that you put in that van is a moisture meter. Everything else comes after the moisture meter, because if you don't know the moisture content and everything, and we're going to talk a little bit about that on the next episode, or coming out on what's going to air, but then everything you're doing after that is guesswork. Man, it's so important. And I watching these people up there representing those companies, I felt bad for them, because it looked like they're almost defeated. Great folks, don't get me wrong. Like I said, wonderful people doing a great job. I wouldn't want anybody else repping my product, but those guys are phenomenal. But man, you just got a sense that it's very difficult doing what they're doing, because they're dragging the industry with them. They're the last step before the inspector. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to stop you from meeting the inspector. This is how you don't have to. If you get this dialed in, you don't have to meet the inspector. You know what I mean? These are the folks that are going to help you this more than anybody. They got, you know what I mean? They can get you out of trouble. And yet I wonder how many people in the industry actually have a moisture meter and use it properly and everything. So, well, that class was fantastic. There was also a scientist there.
I'd like to make an apology to any of the moisture meter reps who are listening to the show. Mm-hmm. That now Wayne has you out there, contemplating suicide because your job is so bad.
Well, it's just my empathy that I have for them.
What are you saying? That there's only X amount that they can sell, and then that's it? Once everybody has a moisture meter, you don't need any more?
No, is that not enough people have them per amount of people that are in this industry.
Okay.
And it's a no-brainer. I mean, but so listen, everybody listens to our show. We know that these are people in the know, man. They got a moisture meter. I don't doubt that. But you can look around and see that there's probably not enough people that have them. So, but I did kind of feel bad for them up there. It's a way harder sell than it should have to be.
I can think of three. I don't know who the fourth is.
I don't know if we want to name names.
No, tell me later.
Names. Yeah. Okay. And a building scientist. He had a 5-hour class, actually 5 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'll mention his name in the next podcast. It's a very difficult name to pronounce. Canadian guy, super funny, unbelievably knowledgeable. So yeah, the seminars were good. And also, if you're for the tech guys or for tools, that you had the guys down there doing bending wood and all kinds of pretty cool stuff, and woodworking stuff, and table saw sleds, and just a wealth of information. So when you go to these things, the NWFA conferences, you can feel good about having a good time, because while you're having fun, meeting your friends and having a beer with them, what have you, you're also learning some phenomenal information. So hats off to the NWFA.
How were those attended? Were they full?
Very well attended. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's good.
Yep. And look, it's Tampa. It's one of those locations where it's very tempting to maybe see it on day one and then skip out and go to the beach and whatever. But everybody came back. It was well attended. All the seminars, the party afterwards was attended very well. And so there you go. All right. I don't want to beat it to death, but I got to see how much trouble we're in after this one. But I appreciate it, Rob, and blaming you if we do get in trouble. All right. That's another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.